What's up, guys? Got a KV-1 ace tanker here for you on Mountain Pass. Tier 5 heavy. KV-1 was my first heavy and I really did enjoy it. I figured that the Soviets made the best heavies and I wasn't wrong. At Tier 10, the IS-7 is absolutely deadly, so that's definitely what I'm going to be working toward. If anybody's a new player and they're doubting which side they should take for the long haul, because it is quite the hell of a grind, go for the Tier 10 that you like. Face the tanks in that line with pride and prejudice in some cases, and just fight through it and try to get to that Tier 10. You will not be disappointed. I love my Tier 10 Artie. So anyway, I'm here with my buddy Brian the Lion in this game. He's trying out his brand new AT-2 with a howitzer on it. Very well armored vehicle, but what we're going to be coming against, he really didn't have a chance. So here we go. This is pretty much the average speed that you'll notice on the KV-1, even if you're hauling ass. So, you know, what are you going to do? Got a lot of armor. Now, see, if this was a 3-4-5 game, I really wouldn't have an issue. The KV-1 with the howitzer can pretty much one-shot any tank in 3-4-5, as long as it's light, medium, or a tank destroyer, a glass cannon tank destroyer. SU-100 spotted across the river, and I end up moving toward the bridge. But coming against a Tier 7 heavy, now that's another thing entirely. And switching over to heat will be necessary in this game. I'm a premium spammer on this one. It's because I'm coming against a Tier 7 heavy, so, you know, sit and spin. I needed it. So, leave me alone. LV tuner coming across the bridge, I believe is a T-71. Yes, CMCD, the fast model. Not the angled armor or the great gun model, but the fast model. It's a great scout. So let me go back to my view because I believe... Oh, not yet. Now I am. There we go. So I'm going to be aiming around this rock because I know this T-71 is going to hop out, try to do some damage. That's what I like to do with my T-71, but he knows that I've got a howitzer. So I don't know why he came out, but he did eventually. Wham! And now I've got heat loaded in secondary, so now it's loading. I had a damage track from that T-71 and I fixed it and moved behind the rock for angled armor. End up coming out after locking onto the T-71 to try to get a quick shot on him, and it misses entirely. He ends up going down under the bridge, and I take more damage to my right track. But now I know who's responsible. Kronos 53 with this T1 heavy. I end up taking a shot right to his turret for 355 damage. And the artillery hits him for the remainder of 461. He's got 24% health left, which isn't a whole lot. Actually, at 139 health, that's nothing. The artillery comes in at 15 damage, but he's still there. So let me take one more shot with heat. Got him. Now, we have a major issue downfield. T-29 is a Tier 7 heavy, extremely powerful armor on the turret, almost no armor on the hull, but for a Tier 5 heavy, especially with a howitzer, it's all the armor in the world. So, I've got to think of something, and using the heat, I still didn't think I'd be able to, because every time I've ever used heat on a much higher tier heavy tank, it always just bounced. So we're going to see what we can do. I'm going to speed it up a little bit here. Now, this was the most nervous part of the whole gameplay, is moving across this bridge. You've got enemies who could spot you from any section over here in the east, and the west, the entire river can see you, but thank God it's littered with enemy bodies. So anyway, I end up coming around this corner, and I know the T-29 is in defensive mode, so I switch right over to heat and wait for the entire reload. There's the T-29. I dodge his first shot and take a shot right at his glasses, end up penetrating for 387. I got lucky there. This T-29 presented its armor in the worst ways possible, like exactly so that I'd be able to hit them. Now, in this case, and actually I'm going to back that up a bit, for this shot, oh, well, okay. Well, let's do the full approach again. So I'm going to slow it way down so you can see what happens here. When he presents his lower glasses, I end up taking the shot, and it ends up penetrating perfectly just because it's angled upward. You see that? Otherwise, I would not be able to penetrate it because it is way too angled. Let me go back to one time. There we go. I slow this way down. I end up taking a shot at his top panel, and it bounces. Just because of the angle of his armor. My buddy Brian the Lion does 1 damage with his HE trying to kill this behemoth. I end up taking a shot right at the ground in front of me, unfortunately, and then I ram him, thinking that I'd be able to do some damage, completely forgetting that he is far heavier than I am. But I take the advantage of him being turned around and hit right on his exhaust pipe, unintentionally. Bam! 341 damage to a tier 10, or a tier 7, being a tier 5, that's pretty amazing. Now, the only problem with the AT2, as you can see, that Brian the Lion's experiencing, is that his front armor, although tough, is not angled. So, really, if someone knows where to aim, yeah. So I'm moving up onto this T-29, and check this out. Because his armor is angled, because he's reversing, I'm able to pull off the perfect shot right to his front. And there goes the 7. So now I've got an SPG up there, and I know he's there. I think that's going to be the M41. And I end up moving down this canyon. But really, the only reason, ladies and gentlemen, that I was able to eliminate that T-29 was heat ammunition. Using HE, I would have done just as much damage as Brian did when it came to shooting at that monster. I tell the Hellcat to hold up and wait for me, but he decides to move ahead anyway. It's nice to enter staggered, though, so I think he knew what he was doing. M41 appears to the Hellcat as he's pursuing him around the corner. M41 takes a massive shot right to his hull. Does about 50% damage, and I move up behind him. Now, the Hellcat's reloaded by now, and he's going to take a shot over the hill. And I also notice that the enemy is already capturing. The lone normal tank on their team is capturing, so I end up taking the base with my buddy. Take a shot right over the Hellcat for 230, eliminating the SPG. And here comes another one, Indiana Jones style. Smashes into the Hellcat, misses by mere, inches. Oh, well, so do I. Let's take a look at that, because that in particular is pretty disappointing as well. So I end up coming around this corner and aiming. We can slow this down a bit. All I had was just the corner of his armor. So now, here comes the SPG down the hill. Woo! Hell yeah. And see, if he had waited, he would have been able to kill him. But let me slow this way down. The entire crosshair is covered with round, or covered with tank, and it happens to go right between his gun piston and gun armor. That's just ridiculous. I was so pissed off, because I could have had a Pascucci's medal on top of all of this. But anyway, our friendly IS-2 is encroaching upon the T-34-85, and when he's defeated, the game ends. So this was really an amazing game with a Tier 5 heavy, especially taking down a Tier 7 heavy. So let's take a look at the cards. Alright, so as much fun as that game was, it had an even more impressive card. We got an Ace Tanker badge for our performance in this game today, with a Bruiser, Fire for Effect, and a Duelist. We got High Caliber for dealing more than 1,000 damage. In fact, I dealt 2,041 damage, 3 kills, 220 damage bounced, 2 of which came from the T1, 1 from the T71. I got a shot on armor due to assist, usually by spotting for the T1 Heavy, and then I spotted all 3, the M12, T1 Heavy, and T71, with 40 base capture points. If we look at the team score, got about 2,000 damage, like I said, 1,136 base XP. That's wonderful. 3 kills. I think I got MVP for that game, so that's pretty cool as well. If we go to the detailed report, it only cost me about 4,700 credits in total for the entire match after using 48,500 credits on heat. That's a bit nuts. 12 shots fired, 9 hit, 7 penetrated for about 2,000 damage. Not a bad game, not a bad game at all. Let's go take a look at another one that I think you'll enjoy, even though it's only an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge Class 1, not Ace Tanker, but I think you'll enjoy it all the same. Alright guys, welcome to an LTP game on Serene Coast. This was a really fun one, rolling with my buddy Brian the Lion in his Panzer 1C that he just got, really enjoying it. So, let's take a look. Let's go ahead and skip ahead a bit. This ends up being a Kamakaze ribbon. I'm not really sure why though, because I end up not eliminating any tanks with a kill, with a suicide, but I have a feeling it's done with less than 10% of your health or something like that, but I end up getting a kamikaze ribbon without committing suicide myself to eliminate a target. So I thought that was pretty interesting. That's never happened to me before. But we are rolling here. Ooh, look at that 4K LTP. Look at that. And that party. So anyway. Here we go. Moving around the Roxases and whatnot. 43 plus over there, Cruiser 4. We got a Type 91. Let's take a look. Take an unaimed shot and it goes way over the target. Ooh, good kill. Barely nipped him. There's a 38, yeah. Oh, bounce off his turret armor. Take another shot and miss. Now, the LTP is not known for its armor. It's known for its angled nature of its armor. The front and rear panels are very well angled, so if anybody hits the front or rear of the tank, it usually does bounce. But if anybody has a flat surface on it, I mean, it's made of paper, so. Now that's the DW2. That is the Tier 4 Heavy that's available from Germany. And that thing is nuts. I can't penetrate any part of that armor. Not even the quarter panels on the back. Now here we go, as a Panzer 1C. I ended up taking a pot shot on him. Now this is a duel of ages because this tank is far superior in terms of speed and capability. Nice. Digging into his butt. And sorry about that. I got the DW2 out there still watching me. But look at that, red all over. There's no way I'm going to penetrate that tank. Now this one though. Yeah. Get that 91. Chinese tanks suck. Except the mediums. They're very, very good. So there goes the Panzer 1C. Or another one at least. No, that's a Luke's. That is one step up from the Panzer 1C. And actually, I believe I'll be visiting him later. Yeah, the Matilda is not to be fucked with. This thing is very hard to penetrate. I end up aiming for his hatch, and I still can't penetrate. Check this out. Red everywhere. Now I'm taking major damage. My commander and driver are both dead. And my viewport is also damaged, so I have a hard time seeing targets. I could have taken out the Lukes there, but I couldn't. Uh-oh. Oh, there he goes up the... He just rolled himself over. I take a shot, but I miss. After he disappears, I believe, from my radar. Yeah. I don't know if I hit or missed him, but... really, it doesn't matter. I take another one and it hits the ground in front of me. And I heal my driver, although I could really use my commander as well. And my rounds keep landing short. Take one more and it lands high from where the Luke's is. But I'm still being held down by this Matilda. He is not, you know, a great thing to be holding me down, but I notice he's distracted, so I try to get away. Yeah, the Matilda's more busy taking cover from another tank than coming after me. I noticed that the Luke's is on his side, so I figure, hey, let's just finish him off if I miss him. I took a little bit of damage, but it's nice to take out that Luke's. Now, I think that is where I earned my Kamakaze, because I was very, very low on health, and I ended up ramming him for a kill. But let's speed it up a little bit here. Now, I've repaired my viewport now using a repair kit, and I believe in about 20 seconds I end up healing my commander as well. Alright, single speed. Cresting over this hill, I believe I spot somebody. There we go. Now, after healing my commander, I realize that I have almost no health. So I've got to be careful here. Whoa, spot both of them. Now I got to stay behind this little structure. There's a little tank destroyer over there. Might be the 76. What is that? 85B. End up landing one right in the rear armor, but he ends up getting away. Turret power over there. What is he? T-29. Okay. Oh no, that's the Pyro 437. Turret power is an 85B as well. So they've got 2 85Bs on their team. Looks as though one of them has been eliminated. Piru over there. Very penetrable tank he's got, but I just destroyed my cover, so he's going to be shooting at me. Lands a round right into my turret. I'm very happy that I was not destroyed by that shot. No, it landed right in my viewport. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Perfect shot right at the viewport. Woo! Dodging that arty shot, baby. Su-26 is a turreted Tier 3 Soviet tank artillery. So it has almost no restriction when it comes to gun traverse. So really you need to, you know, make sure that he's reloading when you're attacking him, because although the turret is slow, it has no restriction as to what it can shoot. It's a mortar type weapon as well, so he could probably hit me on the other side of this rock if he wanted to. So I'm going to switch back to my view here. End up crossing this bridge. Now at this point I am really haggard. I've been kicked around, punched, destroyed, penetrated. Pretty much everything you could ever imagine would be a horrible thing to happen to you. Fuck your garage. End up going around the house trying to flank the entire enemy team. Now there's only one remaining member, and it's the 85B tank destroyer. So let me speed it up a bit as I go around this mountain. Turret power is taking damage, but he's also taking out our teammates. Taking more damage, and then he's finally eliminated. But you know what? No. No, I must ram him. Ah! And that ends the game. Glorious Soviet Russia. Now let's take a look at the cards. We got an ace tanker first class with a bruiser, fire for effect, and look at that. Hand of God. Hand of God is awarded to a player who has taken damage from 3 or more enemies while not only surviving the match, but taking out a couple of his own. I got a Kamakaze ribbon, which I think is really, really cool. I haven't gotten one of those in a couple years. As a matter of fact, I think I have 8 total when I checked after the game. 3 kills, 2 spotted, 4 assists, 4 module damage, actually 5 modules. 2 of them were on the Panzer 1C that I was pursuing, spinning around, shooting them. I got 3 bounces from Panzer 1C as well, and a total of 4, 5, 8 shots fired. If we look over at the team score, I'll see that it's about 282 damage done, not too much, 3 kills, 566 experience. So I wasn't even the MVP, but getting that Kamakaze ribbon was really cool. In the detailed report, I fired 33 rounds, 19 hit, 7 penetrated, with a total profit of 22,523 credits. So anyway, this has been BeefyTanks. I hope you liked what you saw. If you did, hit the like button and the subscribe button and click that little bell so that you're notified of future releases. Like I said, and I think I said this at the beginning of the video, but this release was pretty delayed. I don't know why I got so distracted over the weekend, but I'm definitely going to be posting again every 2 days or so. I'm going to attempt to do that. I know that, you know, to have a successful YouTube career, you do have to, you know, even if it's a part-time thing, I do have a job, but, you know, I enjoy doing this on the side just as a hobby. But in order to do this successfully, you do have to post pretty much every day, if not every other day. I'm going to aim for every other day. And if you guys have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments section. And as always, it's been a pleasure. This is BeefyTanks. Keep it beefy on the battlefield, guys.